The sun was barely rising, casting a pale orange glow over the vast savanna. The air was heavy with the scent of dew-soaked grass, and the distant calls of birds echoed across the open plains. A small group of Homo erectus moved through the tall grasses, their eyes scanning the land for any sign of danger or opportunity. The wind blew steadily, carrying the faint sounds of something larger. A flurry of wings, the soft rustling of massive creatures in the distance. In the distance, towering above the other animals of the savanna, were the giant birds. Standing nearly 12 feet tall, their large, flightless bodies moved gracefully through the tall grasses, their keen eyes ever watchful for threats. These creatures were a dominant force on the savanna, their long, powerful legs enabling them to travel great distances in search of food. The birds were as much a part of this land as the very earth beneath the tribe's feet. As the Homo erectus tribe moved silently, the young hunters took the lead, their spears tightly gripped in their hands. Today, they would face the challenge of hunting the giant birds. The birds' massive size and speed were unmatched, making them formidable prey. But the tribe had learned to adapt using their wit and teamwork to overcome threats far greater than themselves. Suddenly, a rustling sound broke through the silence. The young hunter in the lead raised a hand, signaling to the group to stop. He knelt, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the horizon. In the distance, a lone giant bird had wandered too close. It pecked at the ground, oblivious to the predators stalking nearby. The young hunter made his move, his muscles tensed, his body coiled like a spring ready to release. He darted forward, his spear raised high. The others followed, moving with precision. The hunt had begun. The bird, sensing the danger, flapped its wings, its eyes widening in alarm as it sprinted away. But the young hunter was too fast. With one swift motion, he hurled his spear. The spear struck true. The giant bird let out a startled squawk, its legs buckling beneath it as it collapsed to the ground. The tribe cheered in triumph, rushing forward to secure their prize. They had brought down one of the most dangerous creatures on the savanna. But the victory was short-lived. The sound of the bird's death cry echoed across the plains, and within moments a shadow appeared on the horizon. Another, much larger bird had heard the commotion. It was an older male, its massive wings spread wide as it soared through the air, its eyes locked on the group below. The tribe froze. This was no ordinary prey. This was a guardian of the savanna, and it would stop at nothing to protect its territory. The battle for survival was far from over. The elder hunter stepped forward, his face weathered by time, but his eyes sharp with wisdom. He motioned for the others to prepare. The air was thick with tension as the massive bird swooped lower, its wings cutting through the air with a deafening rush. The ground trembled as it landed with a force that sent a cloud of dust swirling into the air. The tribe instinctively spread out, forming a circle around the fallen prey. The giant bird's eyes blazed with fury as it strutted toward them, its beak clicking with menace. This was no ordinary attack. It was a territorial battle, a challenge for dominance over the land. The young hunter, still holding his spear, took a cautious step forward. His breath was steady, his hands steady as stone. He knew that this was no longer a hunt. This was a test of survival. Without warning, the giant bird lunged its powerful talons, aimed straight at the young hunter. With a cry, he ducked narrowly, avoiding the deadly claws. The bird's momentum sent it crashing into the dirt, but it quickly recovered, circling back for another strike. The tribe knew that if they didn't work together, they would be overpowered. The battle for survival had shifted into high gear. The elder hunter grabbed a stone and hurled it at the bird, distracting it just long enough for the young hunter to recover. With a swift motion, he launched his spear again this time, aiming for the bird's weak spot, its chest. The spear pierced the creature's skin, and it let out an agonized cry, flapping its wings in a frenzy. For a moment, it seemed like the bird might overpower them. But the tribe had learned long ago that survival was a matter of unity. As the giant bird thrashed, the rest of the tribe closed in using rocks and sticks to strike, when the bird was momentarily stunned. Slowly but surely, they brought it down. The fight was over, but the cost was high. The giant bird lay still on the ground, its eyes vacant. The tribe stood over it, their bodies bruised and exhausted, but their spirits unbroken. This victory was not just for the hunt. It was a testament to their resilience and their ability to work as one. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the savanna, the tribe gathered around the fallen bird. The fire crackled and the scent of roasted meat filled the air. The young hunter, covered in dust and blood, stood beside the elder. They shared a silent look, the weight of the battle still lingering in the air. In this moment, amidst the stillness of the night, the tribe's bond was stronger than ever. They had survived once again through teamwork, courage, and sheer will. And as they prepared to move on, they knew that the land would always challenge them, but it would also sustain them as long as they remembered the lessons of survival. The journey was far from over. The land was vast, the dangers ever present, but the tribe was united, and as long as they stood together, they would endure. As the tribe sat around the fire, their weary bodies resting, they took a moment to reflect on the trials they had faced. The flickering flames cast dancing shadows on their faces, revealing a mix of exhaustion and triumph. The giant bird that had nearly claimed their lives now served as a testament to their strength and unity. But the battle was not just a physical one. It was a reminder of the ever-present threat of the wild, where danger lurked around every corner, and survival was never guaranteed. The elder hunter's eyes scanned the horizon. The journey ahead would be just as treacherous, perhaps even more so. He knew that as they continued their path through the savanna, they would encounter more challenges. But in the hearts of his people, he saw something unyielding. It wasn't just the desire to survive, it was the will to thrive, to adapt and to evolve alongside the land and its creatures. They had already faced the harshness of the environment, the scorching heat of the day, the brutal cold of the night, and the unpredictable storms that could wipe away everything in an instant. But the giant birds had brought a new level of danger to their world. These creatures were not just obstacles. They were a force of nature in themselves, as formidable as the predators that stalked the shadows. The fact that the tribe had come together to overcome such a foe marked a turning point in their understanding of the world around them. The young hunter, still catching his breath, looked to the elder. "What now?" he asked, his voice low, but filled with resolve. The elder smiled faintly, his face etched with years of survival. "We move forward," the elder said. "The world is full of dangers, but it is also full of opportunity. As long as we stand together, there is nothing we cannot face." The group nodded in agreement. The fire crackled, casting the final glow of the day over the savanna as the tribe prepared to continue their journey. The hunt for the giant bird had proven their strength, but it was the lessons learned from survival, teamwork, strategy, and adaptability that would ensure their future. As the tribe made their way toward the next phase of their journey, the sound of their footsteps merged with the distant calls of other creatures, a reminder that the world was full of life, both beautiful and dangerous. They were no longer just surviving, they were learning to live alongside the creatures of the savanna, understanding that every challenge, every battle, was part of the greater story of their existence. In the days to come, they would face more trials, But for now, there was peace, and with it, the hope that their resilience would carry them through whatever the future held.